He's very secretive when it comes to his relationship, so I didn't know
I'm not secretive, I just don't have
the
anybody.
extent of their relationship.
He didn't tell me that they hooked up.
Okay, well, now we know.
Hello, and welcome back to Split Decision. I'm your host, Kat Takahashi, and today we brought 4 pairs of identical twins into the studio. This conversation won't be easy. Your honesty will be put to the test.
There was times where I definitely fantasized about not having a twin.
Split Decision is about one thing, deep and meaningful truth. Now, let's see how well these twins really know each other. The first prompt is, I'm the more attractive twin. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around. Wow, this is interesting right here. A lot of people are saying no. Interesting, you're saying yes. You say you're the more attractive twin.
This guy is in a relationship. I am not. So he did his makeup today, but I have to try. This guy usually wakes up like he's late to class most days. So not because we like look different, I just have to put more effort.
But that makes you more attractive.
I think so.
Ah, and you agree?
Yeah, I'm a little gremlin. I don't care what I wear. I'm in a happy, long-term relationship. Yeah, and I dress like a slob every day.
I'm Christian.
Marco. I feel like we just know each other. We're just brothers, ride or die.
Sydney, Simone, you both say no. Tell me more.
I would say that there was a time period in high school where I got my braces off. I felt like I had the first glow up, you know? But I feel like definitely like as we've gotten older, like I don't think that.
So you're saying I caught up?
I would say you caught up, yeah.
How's it feel to catch up?
I mean,
You know what, I will say Sydney has like this feminine essence that sometimes I feel like is super attractive. So I will give you that.
and
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like the ugly one.
I think also her hair, sometimes it's just like, she looks like such a woman, you know?
It comes down to effort, like what you guys said, probably.
for sure. I think Sydney puts a little more effort in.
Adam, I noticed that you switched places.
When I stepped on yes, initially I was thinking physically more attractive, but then I was like personality-wise and like visually his style, it's more attractive than me. I mean, muscles, yeah, I have muscles. Maybe that's seen by some people as more attractive, but in life, people are more attracted to him. He's funnier.
But I notice when we go out together, we live in LA, so we're living in a place where muscle and like what you look like really matters to a lot of the population. Every time we walk into a room, this big old idiot's being stared at. And I mean, when I used to work out, I used to look more like him. I used to get more attention. Since I stopped working out, it's made me, I noticed the difference of getting less attention and seeing him still in that looking like this.
Yeah, but that's why I chose more about the personality than the physical, because that's what I'm more attracted to as well. You're goofy and funny, and everyone loves that.
I know, but I think you are too. I think, especially when we're together.
Especially when we're together, because then I feel comfortable to do it. You lead, so.
Okay, well, I'll take it, thank you.
You're welcome.
I also think you are more physically handsome than I am.
I'll take it, thank you.
We just have verbal diarrhea where if we're feeling something, we're sharing it. And I think our ability to understand and be there for each other at this point is just like solid, so.
But our ability to articulate it is not so solid.
It is not good, it is bad.
Sam, you're like, yeah, I'm the more attractive one.
I feel like this is going to be the hardest question of the day because I think we're both so attractive. I like really had a hard time picking sides. You're also very attractive, like you are a corn star, so you work in a career where you have to look attractive all the time. I think I'm a little bit more like conventionally attractive. For many years, I thought Austin was the hot twin, and you know, now I feel like my self-esteem has bumped up a little bit.
And Austin, you agree? You're standing on no.
I agree. Like when we were growing up, we looked very similar, but I felt like I looked like me. I didn't like want to look like you. I'm more attractive to myself now. Like I feel like myself more than I've ever felt like myself. But when I was like super femme and I looked like you, I felt like I had like a power in my attractiveness that like I don't really feel like I have anymore.
Like you lost that?
Yeah. But that's the only thing I ever liked about femininity. I only ever liked the power of like attention in a way. You know, you have to like put on a mean face at the gym so like dudes don't approach you. Like there's definitely a gendered aspect too. Like nobody is like walking up to me anymore, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Do you miss that at all?
No.
No, you're happy that's gone.
No, yeah, I don't feel like as scared like walking home at night.
The next prompt is, my twin and I have hooked up with the same person. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, go ahead and turn around. This is interesting. We have some disagreement here. Maybe we're not sure. Like, wait, did we? How was it? Okay, Austin, go ahead. Yeah.
I remember we like didn't drink alcohol a lot until we were seniors and we went to this crazy Halloween party and I hooked up with like 8 people. Remember we hooked up with Jean and Siddharth? Yeah, and like 11 years ago at a party.
Memories.
We like made out with them at the same time.
Well, I don't know. You know, people are fascinated by that. You have to do it once, I guess.
I'm Austin.
I'm Sam. Being a twin's the best part of my life. It's my favorite part of my identity.
So is that a similar story? Do you not remember what's going on?
Wait, do I know? What?
I regret this. Before I started dating guys, it was, you know about it. It was this person where you brought around and then I accidentally swooped in and got an attachment with them.
You accidentally?
Well, they had a weird thing going on, and then long story short, she and I became roommates in the end. It destroyed our brothership for like a few years.
I told him not to hang out.
Yeah.
So they were kind of creepy, like, you need to tell your brother about us. I'm like, no, I just met you one day. I don't need to tell them about you. But I didn't know you hooked up.
It was like a little bit. It wasn't that intense. It wasn't anything like major. He's very secretive when it comes to his relationships, so I didn't know. I wasn't sure the extent of their relationship or like how they knew each other.
We didn't talk for 7 months.
We didn't talk for a while.
You guys didn't talk?
I didn't talk to
7
him
months because of
for
that?
like months and months. I'm like, that was the first time I felt like he betrayed my trust.
Yeah, I was young and dumb, and then he found out by a Snapchat that they posted.
You found out through Snapchat.
And I'm like, are you?
Because at some point I realized that it was not what I thought it was.
He didn't tell me that they hooked up. But the thing is, like, I didn't hook up with them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider that a hookup.
Okay, well, now we know. I think as twins, though, we do have people kind of, I mean, just the other day, some person that I had some flings with a few times literally slid into his DMs and sent him an unsolicited nude.
He's like, wow, you're hot. I'm like, haha. And then I told Matt about it. And then Matt's
picture.
like, Matt had planned a date with this person. I'm like
a while
well,
back. No, it was a long time
and
ago.
I'm like, F that
but
person.
It's still like crossing a boundary.
Has anyone here been like fetishized, you know, the whole twins thing? Oh, everybody has.
Yeah, I would say no particular experience, but people have often asked us for threesomes like within the first interaction. But there was, I do have a story, I don't know if I want to share.
Tell us. What happened?
It was just like an instance where there was a guy in college that was, I think you were kind of, okay, so where are you going with this? I have no idea what this story is.
He was an attractive guy.
Okay.
And we had both agreed that he was an attractive guy, and we were going out to eat. I guess ended up tagging along, which I shouldn't have encouraged because I did not mean for it to come off as like
invited you.
He ends up asking for my number at the end of the interaction when
it was like you guys were.
Yeah, I didn't really see it like that though, because I wouldn't have invited you if I felt like I was claiming him. You know?
But it's still weird though. Like,
it was more dumb on his part because he just
that's not-
fumbled.
As if y'all don't talk and we're.
Right, like it was just like, oh, you're just not smart.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Simone.
There's not a lot of people that can understand having a twin and what that relationship dynamic is like.
Well, I feel like the difference is you didn't give the number, I gave the number.
Well, look,
I was young and dumb, still dumb.
We've had a lot of mini interactions like that, and I will say, like, it doesn't really happen to us anymore. And I think one awesome side benefit of not really looking alike anymore is I feel like just being like small women, like I often would get nervous, like going in public with my twin and like feeling like people were preying on us. And like now that like Austin like presents as a male, like he's a dude, like I don't have that fear anymore.
It's weird though, because I think like we'll go to like music festivals and when we were younger, like, you know, sometimes there's like dudes behind you and they're like, oh, it's like tight. And you're like, stop. And that like never happens to us anymore. But I think part of it is because people think we're dating.
Yeah.
And I think like sometimes that respect's like only given because there is some like perceived like ownership if you're like with someone. So like I think that's really gross.
Yeah.
And I think it's like nice that like, you know, we went to a music festival recently. People left us like alone the whole time. But I'm like, why is that? You know what I mean?
I shouldn't have to be with like a male presenting person to feel that way.
But I like it though, because then I can also like, if someone is f***ing with her, even though I'm like a little dude, they'll like back off if I'm like, get away from my sister.
The next prompt is, codependency is a problem for me. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around. Wow. Okay, I want to start with you both at the end.
It's an issue for me, but not with her. Like, I don't think we're codependent with each other. I'm just really codependent with people I date, and she's not.
I think it's something you develop as a twin, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have like much codependence in me at all. And I actually think that comes from being a twin too, because throughout my whole life, I had to assert my independence.
For me, once Matt and I kind of separated after high school to go to different colleges, I had a harder time dropping the twin identity than he did. He found more of himself at school, and I kind of held on to
having that partner.
Like you said. And there were so many people that I kind of cycled through that we got super close. And sometimes people...
It was too close for them sometimes.
It was too close for them, sometimes too close for me.
We can coexist and not take on each other's energies. And with somebody else and other people, I don't think they can do the same thing. I think it's a twin superpower. You put the expectations of being in a romantic relationship on your friends sometimes too, where you hold them to a standard where maybe most friends or people would not hold them to the same standard.
So that's kind of something that I'm working through right now. It's the biggest thing in the last 2 years that I've been working on is finding independence, finding love and comfort with being by myself.
Like I said to him, like I have the expectations for somebody to always be around with me and be near me and have that one person. And so now I stand on no because I feel like I've overcome that.
So I think we have a codependent relationship that we are healing with each other. But our codependence is like, it brings out the best and the worst.
Heavy,
We're self-critical. So when we have that self-critique that's really heavy within the internal, you have that in somebody else, we're also very hard on each other, and that's really hard.
And now I have a different job than you, and she comes into my world and nobody knows anything about her, and it's really refreshing.
Yeah, and that space has really helped cultivate our independence and like our individuality a little bit
and our
more.
compassion for each other. We're not as critical because I see her as her own person, because now I'm in a world where I'm my own person.
The next prompt is, my twin has a vice or bad habit that really worries me. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and turn around. Okay. Sydney, let's start with you.
I guess the first that comes to mind is I want Simone to see herself the way that I see her. It worries me, the idea of you thinking you don't deserve all that you can get in all of who you are in maybe somebody else, or I guess settling, to keep it short.
Settling, like in life, relationships.
More relationships.
I agree.
Maddie.
Well, I have been in relationships, I've had partners, I've learned so much about myself, like through those romantic relationships, and I feel like Adam hasn't gotten to experience that, and I want that for him because I feel like he can find a lot of joy and happiness in doing so and learn a lot about himself. I worry that he's not gonna find that person or have that experience when I want that for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think lately, the past like few years, I've really been working on myself, physically, mentally. Since I work so hard on myself, I kind of I don't want to settle for someone who doesn't
I just want you to be able to
prioritize.
experience and what that's like.
I will one day.
I want you to, put yourself out there a little more.
Maybe.
Okay.
The next prompt is, I've disliked my twins' romantic partners. Make a split decision in 3, 2, 1. All right, everybody, go ahead and turn around. Wow, this is interesting. Exact opposites. Wow, okay. Austin, let's start with you.
Wait.
You say yes.
What was the question?
You have disliked one of your twins' partners.
But you're on the wrong one.
Oh, yeah,
you hate-
you're right.
Oh yeah, I did hate that person. I forgot about that.
You were on the wrong one, but I just got
No,
confused.
you were.
Well, I would say it's more of a general trend with you. You're like one of the most compassionate, loving people I know, and I feel like you put so much care into the people you're in relationships with. But I don't always think that your partners are able to reciprocate in a way that gives you the love that you deserve.
I asked her recently if she's ever liked anyone I've ever dated, and she said no.
Maybe I'm picky.
She's very like respectful of my autonomy. Like she'll support me because she
Yeah.
cares about what I want. I just didn't like her high school boyfriend.
He was terrible.
He sucked. He like cheated on her, and like he went to like military school, and like his friends like photoshopped a photo of her to look like a clown.
He always told me what to wear too.
Yeah, and he
like
would
very
have a lot of preferences
controlling.
about her body. But her husband is amazing.
Adam, you say yes.
Matt's a big, bright, creative energy. When he goes into a room, everyone's drawn to him. And these guys would just make you feel bad about being you because they wanted to uphold some kind of appearance for themselves. So they make you feel small, and you would fall into that, and it made you miserable, and you were your being just didn't work with it, and you would call me crying and depressed, and I'm like, Matt, F these guys, leave them. There's been a few, but he's been getting it right lately.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that he's.
Had to get over that hump.
I haven't disliked any of the men she's dated in particular. I just don't like them for her. I feel like I was always just wanting to speak for the part of you that I felt like was compromising. And also I know you. I feel like I would, just they weren't you. They weren't you.
Yeah, I think that was something that I struggled with is I felt a little bit of judgment, but I knew you had the best intentions. I just felt like I couldn't experience things without you having such a strong opinion and say on them. But I really appreciate where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But like if you had said it in a loving way like you just said now
Well,
in
that's
those
how it starts.
situations.
And then
was
you
new, though?
continue.
What was new?
Just dating and navigating dating as being a twin and living together is just an experience that we're navigating in general.
Christian, you say yes.
Let me tell you about my finest hour as this guy's brother. I mean, his current partner is awesome, but in the past, he's like never really like dated good people. He's always had problems with that. And this one person in particular cheated on him. But once I found out he like got cheated on and he was planning to go back, I literally got on my hands and knees and I said, Marco, throw away all logic, throw away all reason. I'm making an appeal as your brother because I'm just doing what I think is like the best for you, and you're probably gonna hate me for it. Do not go back there.
At the end of the day, I just took a chance on my brother, and I'm so happy I did that. So.
Wow. Do you ever feel like you won't be able to connect with a romantic partner because of, how you've grown up and had this bond with your twin?
I'm like happily married to my husband. We've been together for over a decade, and like I do consider him to be like a soulmate of mine, but like I've had the discussion with him that like I already have a soulmate in this life. Like I'm not looking for, someone to be like my absolute everything. He will never understand me the way Austin does. Like he just can't on a fundamental level.
You guys got this wrong.
Yeah, I'm the RIEG and she's the RWPG.
All right, the next prompt is, I feel like I haven't always been there for my twin. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead and turn around. Adam's the only one who's always been there for his twin. But everybody else.
There's some times where I didn't show up with emotional support that you needed, and I think it was this. If you're on no, but maybe send on yes. But there's times where you didn't approach me with that emotional, approach and that understanding, because it was how we were raised. We share very similar traumas, and the lack of expression and understanding comes from that trauma. And I think recently we come to terms with that and understanding. So anything where I didn't show up or you didn't show up, we've kind of settled that.
Yeah.
Christian, Marco.
Yeah, he was in a relationship for 4 years, and like that girl was a sister to me. And I think there were like gaps in the relationship that weren't working I was too afraid to point them out just because I didn't want to hurt her when I should have really looked out for you.
Got you.
I feel like there's probably a ton of moments that you can think of where I didn't support you, but like I can say I have absolutely tried my hardest, but one thing comes to mind and it just like makes me so sad to think about. Just like when you went to rehab and like I had no communication with you and nobody would our parents wouldn't tell me where you were. And I had no idea like where you were or like how to be there and how to help you.
I didn't even know you didn't know.
No, they didn't
tell
me.
you?
So for so long I had no idea if you were okay.
I didn't know that.
And just knowing like everything you were working through and just knowing that I couldn't like be there to help you through it, just like it like hurts so much in my heart just to talk about it.
Can I hug her? I don't feel that way at all. I didn't know that at all.
It was like the worst time in my life, like just not knowing where my twin was and like not knowing if I could do anything to help.
And you never told him this?
I didn't know that she didn't know.
I thought you knew that I didn't know.
I didn't know you didn't know. I didn't know they didn't tell you.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna say though that like when I saw you step there, I was like, no, cause like I like struggled a lot with like drugs when I was young, when I was like 19, 20. I'm 31 now. But I also struggled like a lot with like depression, and there was a lot of my life where I felt like she wasn't there for me because I wanted to not be here, and she couldn't understand that. And I just like, I was basically depressed my whole life until I was like 27, and I just thought that that was how life felt because that's how I felt my whole life. But I definitely had resentments at times because I felt like my life wasn't my own because like I knew that you wanted me here. So I felt like beholden to you. Like I felt like I was only here because you wanted me here. So I was like upset about that. But I definitely think like you've always showed up for me because even in times when I didn't see that, like a huge reason like why I'm here is because like you showed up for me when I like didn't even think I deserved to be showed up for. And like I got to get to a place where I learned that that's not how life feels like because of that.
The next prompt is, aside from looks, we have more differences than similarities. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead and turn around. So Adam, you say more differences than similarities, huh?
When I look at Maddie, as he goes by now, I don't see myself. I don't see myself. Our hobbies are very different, which led us to be different people. He went to school after we broke apart in New York City. I went to upstate New York. We weren't as close as we were after high school, and we found our way together now. But through that time, I think you and I just picked up different traits, different hobbies, different personalities. Yes, we're still very, very, very similar, but like for example, I love fitness, I love working out, I love challenging myself, I love performing. You,
I love to sit.
You love to sit. He could spend 20 hours in a chair drawing just for fun or conceptualizing this big grand idea that he's going to put onto paper and draw up. I can't do that. You know, he's got a discipline that I don't have. He's got a work ethic.
Well, you have discipline and work ethic. You wake up at like 4 in the morning to go train people. But the outside factors are very different, but from the inside, it's all the same.
Well, do you think
Same manners.
The same mannerisms. Like I'm like, while we don't look alike, you're still a reflection of me because you are so similar to me, and that's why I'm like harsh on you sometimes because.
But even in that aspect, you're very harsh. I'm not very harsh.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not.
You are harsh.
You're harsh to everybody.
Well, I'm sweet. I'm literally so sweet.
Name one time.
Me when I said something nice about you.
Oh, that was one time. You're right.
Yeah.
Kind of on that point, I feel like it's like we're different people, but we speak like the same twin language maybe. He went off and did like data science and engineering and computer science. I'm a biologist. And in those processes, it's kind of led us to have different careers and lives. I mean, right now he's off, making a bunch of money. He has his own place. He just bought a new car. He's off, like, actually starting his life, and I'm doing my PhD right now, which sounds fun to some people, but you're actually stuck in school for an extra 6 years, so like I'm barely making anything.
Because I think that's all like very like surface level stuff. I feel like I've always just like understood the world through your lens. Like you've never really told me anything, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
I also feel like I still see myself a lot when I look at her because I used to look like her and I used to have her voice.
Yeah.
And like those are things that like if I didn't have her, like since I transitioned, I wouldn't have access to anymore. But that like I didn't start transitioning until I was like 25 or 26. So that's like the experience of like most of my life.
Did your relationship shift after you transitioned, you know, from being so alike to being different?
If anything, I feel like even closer to you because like even though I loved looking like you, like that was just so
I
nice.
love looking like you too.
I loved seeing you transition because like every time I would see you, like as you would, you know, move along in that process, I like genuinely saw a more authentic version of you like starting to show itself, and it just got me so like happy inside to see that like the person I always knew you were was like coming out and being shown to everybody.
I like don't miss looking like you because I feel so much like this is me, but I miss sharing like looking like you and I miss singing with you. Like T really changed my voice and I am a bad singer now and she sings so beautifully. I heard her sing the other day and I was like, I wish I could like do that with you still and like sound like that, but I don't think I'm like farther apart from you in any way.
Not at all.
I don't see Matt in me. I think growing up we were compared so much. You're the skinny twin, you're the fat twin, you're the ugly twin, you're the cute twin, you got this.
Everyone has always pointed out the subtle differences in us that we kind of developed just like our own identities, even physically, just like I don't see myself in you. But I think as we get older, I do see more of myself in you, just saying, because I'm looking at your face more, because I'm watching us both age. When I'm like, we're at a party and your hair looks bad, I'm like, does my hair look bad?
That's true.
Okay, the next prompt is, I have fantasized about not being a twin. Okay, go ahead and make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead and turn around. Interesting. Wow. Simone, let's start with you.
When you're a twin, the other person is a reflection of you. And I think when I was still finding my way, it was really frustrating growing up, being attached to someone else when I was still trying to figure out who I wanted to be. There was times where I definitely fantasized about not having a twin and also fantasized about her just being the opposite gender, so we wouldn't be compared to as much, but we still might get that closeness.
100% agree. I think as an identical twin, you're compared all the time. Even if you're not super identical, you guys brought up like, oh, the cute one, the fat one. Like people are constantly comparing you and
Putting you
performance
against each
and pitting
other.
you guys against each other. It's also very much like if one of us did something, it was the twins did this.
Yeah.
And so we'd always get the blame. We'd always get the blame. I'm like, whoa, I was not even there.
So have all of you gotten blamed for your twins' actions growing up?
But like also like the whole school, like it's not even like one person or it's just like everybody thinks that, I feel like.
Even if it's not like an inherently like negative thing, like the way people perceive you is gonna affect the way people perceive your twin, just because of like the link that they form between you. Like
We kind of competed with each other all through our childhood and high school, and it kind of pushed one another.
It made us better.
That competition made us want more for ourselves. Like, I want to do this to, in a way, not even beat you, but just like, it gave us that mentality of like, I can be great.
But at a certain point, you fantasize like, oh man.
And yeah, I fantasized, like, well, I guess it was maybe when I was still in my late 20s, like, I wondered, like, I don't like being just being this twin, or everyone seeing me as this twin. I guess it was just my past, like, in a way, haunting me.
My fantasy is, what would it be like if I wasn't always compared and lumped with this person?
Yeah, that's true. What would my confidence look like?
Because the number one thing when you're a twin is you're a twin. Then you're also funny. Then you're also
that's true.
Whatever. So I'm like, what would I be? What would my number one be? And I would always fantasize, would I be more confident? Would I be this, that? But yeah.
The next prompt is, there's something I haven't said to you enough lately that I want to say to you right now. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around. All right, where to start? Marco, you want to start?
We've always been really close. We've always been really together, and it's only been until I went to grad school that we've separated and went our different lives. But I hope he always knows that like I'm always there for him and like we'll always be together. It's kind of funny, I had a dream. I never dreamed, but I had a dream the other day that like I had lost everything in my life. Like I almost was like I died. And I just was like walking and he just like grabbed my hand and he took me to like a house and he was like, we're staying here together, Marco. We're here forever. And I was like,
Wow.
holy shit. And I woke up and that's like the most bliss, like the most comfort I've ever felt in my life.
And you never told him this though?
I've never heard this. I feel like I would never like tell you that I love you because it's just like implied.
Yeah.
You know that I love you.
Yeah.
But you want to tell him now?
But on the internet for everybody to hear it. I love you, Margot.
I'm proud of you, and I love you too. I think with twins, you know, we're so close, and like you guys said, we don't say it enough, and I just want you to know that I see you, and I'm really proud of who you're becoming and who you are right now.
Thanks. Oh. I want to just tell you that I admire you. Like, I just think that you're a really cool person to be around, and sometimes that's hard for me to see being so close to you. But I think you're kind of cool.
Yes. You've been looking for jobs, and I want to let you know that I don't say it often, is you're super talented, and you work so hard, harder than anybody I've ever met, and it's gonna happen for you, and no one's more talented than you.
I appreciate it.
And then second, we never said this to each other, but I do love you.
I love you too. My turn. The reason I'm so hard on you sometimes is because I know you're so capable. I think you're so funny. I see you, and I see your potential, and I feel like it's more than what your muscles are. And I think you know that too, which is why I'm always like challenging you to like play with your mind a little bit and see what's in there. And so I'm excited to see that journey for you.
I meant to go here and I went there, but I just want to apologize to you. This like literally just happened, but when you were crying, like I was like, can I hug you? Because I wasn't like sure if I was allowed to move. And I am sorry, but if you're crying, I should just like come over and hug you. And I just want to hug you. I just want to give you a hug.
Well, I like another hug. And on that note, like, I, of course, want to tell you I love you. I tell you all the time, but I can never tell you enough. But the most important thing I want to tell you is something that I feel like you don't get to hear from a lot of people. I am like so freaking proud of you, your career, the life you've created, like the friendships you've created, and just like everything. I like want to shout from the rooftop like every time you get an award and like tell the world. And I'm just so proud of everything you've created. And I don't think you get to hear that enough because, you know, what you're doing is so unconventional, and a lot of people want to kind of keep that kind of stuff behind closed doors, and that's a shame because you're incredible.
You are too. I love you. I love you.
I love you.
Hey, we say I love you to our parents and my girlfriend. We never say to each other though, so, you know. Love you, bro.
Love you. It's kind of weird.
We're very similar. We share a lot of the same experiences, and
Twins in general, right?
In general, twins in general.
It was a treat to relate to somebody other than my own twin sister.
Well, that concludes this episode of Split Decision. Stay tuned for our next episode where married couples open up like never before. See you then.